Today I'm going to talk about some of the ins and outs of Final Cut. I'm going to start with the beginning, show it how to import and get more advanced as I go on. But the first step is you want to go to File to import your media from the card that's in the card reader. You go to Import, Media, and there should be a Nikon symbol that you click on, but the card's not in there right now. You click on the Nikon symbol and you import the clips you want, and then you import selected. So I already imported the clip, so I'm not going to do that right now, but that's how you would do it. You take a clip that you want to edit and you drag it into the timeline. So now I'm going to talk about editing a little bit. There's different tools you can edit with. So you go to this arrow button. There's a selection tool, the trim tool, the position tool, the range tool, the blade tool, the zoom tool, and the hand tool. My favorites to use are the selection tool and the blade tool. So let's say you want to make the clip, there's something in the clip you don't like.
What are we gonna do? Jeff and Mike are dead.
So you can shorten the clip by dragging the handle this way or that way, or make it longer. I'm going to go back to the other actual button, the tool I like to use is the blade tool. So let's say you don't like this part, maybe in the middle. You don't like that dialogue for whatever reason. You cut it, you blade it, press A, and you can also blade it again if you don't like this part in the middle. A, you select that and you can delete it. I'm going to leave that alone for now. So I'm going to undo my blade. So that's the basics of editing. You can drag or you can blade it. Now let's talk about audio a little bit. See how our meters are. So this is how you turn on the audio meters. You push this button right here. Now you can see your audio meters right here.
What are we gonna?
Now that's pretty good audio reading. You can see it. You can see it's right in between the -6 and the -12. That's kind of where you want it. And the other thing about audio, you want it even, because if some parts are too loud and some parts are too soft, it will be the cuts will be kind of jarring and it won't be even. So let's go to, you click on this you select your clip, and this is the thing that looks like a microphone is your audio. Now you can also change the loudness of the audio with this button. So you can see here, makes it a lot softer, and this makes it quite a bit louder. So that's kind of where we want it right now. This is audio enhancement, equalization, analyze the sound by doing that, equalization. So there's a lot of hum in this, as you can tell, and these are the different frequencies. Usually I don't mess with this because I try to get the audio as best I can from the start. These are different levels of the hum. If you want to change the hum, and you can move these up and down.
Jeff and Mike are dead.
You can see there's a little difference. It gets rid of the background noise, but it's a little tinny. So I'm gonna press X on that. There's hum removal, or there's also noise. Now I'm gonna go to noise removal. So let's say we want to get rid of some of that background noise.
What are we gonna do?
So you can now, when I did that, you can notice that
what are we gonna?
A lot of the background noise went away, but it's a little tinny. So it's a back and forth, and that's why I say get the audio right the first time. No background noise. All right, let's talk about color correction now. Color correction looks like an upside down diamond. So you select your clip. And let's say it's overexposed or underexposed. You can do this, get it a little darker, get it a little brighter. This is properly exposed, so I'm not going to do too much with this. There's also you can also do the highlights, the midtones, move them down. The master is this one, so that will do that. There's saturation, which is, you can do this, you can do that, move it around, and then last but not least is color. You can change how the color looks. You can make it more green, which, depending on how it's shot, is Usually I don't do a lot with this because I usually try to expose it right. But you can see I can change how it looks with the color. Let's go back to our film, our video. Let's talk about, did the color board transformation. Let's talk about the cropping. Let's just say I framed this too tight, or not tight enough. You can go to crop. You can either do trim. What I usually do is crop. Let's say you don't want some of this background in there. You can go like that, makes it a little tighter. You can also do let's say you, for whatever reason, you want to do a Ken Burns effect where the picture moves. Go like this, and that will make it move a little bit.
What are we gonna do?
Just slightly moves
Jeff and
in.
Mike are dead.
Talk about another trick you can do is you can make it go faster or slower. Let's try 50%.
Is that all? What are we gonna?
Another thing you can do is you can speed it up, do a little slow motion or speed it up.
What are we gonna?
Usually, there's some times you'd want to use that. Let's go back to normal. Let's talk about our effect, our transitions. This is the most commonly used transition. What you do is you click it, put it on here, create transition. This smooths out the cuts a little bit. There's certain times when you don't need these, but it makes it a little smoother. When I start and end a film, I always do fade to color, which turns it to black. So I'm gonna do that here. And so the only ones I use out of this are the cross dissolve and fade to color. There's a lot of them you can use. 3D, I usually don't use that.
What are we?
Let's talk about our effects. Let's say I don't use them a ton, but let's say you want a black and white movie. Grab this, put it there. If you don't want that, you can go to edit and add effects. There's all these effects you can do with the video, which change the way they look. And there's also audio effects. Let's say down here, we want a little car radio or low.
What are we gonna do then?
Makes his voice sound a little different. So let's say you want a title at the beginning. You go to this right here. There's a lot of titles you can use. Let's just do it basic. Let's do a basic 3D. So you click this, drag it in here. You can see that little blue, purple. Click that, and now you can write in zombie attack or whatever you want to write. You can get really fancy with some of these, but just want to drag it down. You can also change the font. You can change the size if it's too big, too small. Alignment, spacing. This is all the stuff to do with the text. Change the color. Let's make it red. Put a little drop shadow on there. There's also generators, which make it a little more fancy. Let's do a solid blue at the end. Add some text on top of that. Let's go back to our video. This is the video, this is all my clip. And here is where you can add music. You can also add sound effects. Let's say we want a train. Type in train. Here's the train. You can put this under here. Those are some of the tricks you can do with Final Cut.